This morning, new bombshell admissions under oath by Fox News founder Rupert Murdoch about how his network handled the fallout of the 2020 election. Court documents show the billionaire head of News Corp admitted that some Fox News hosts knowingly pushed false election claims or even endorsed them outright. The documents are part of a $1.6 billion lawsuit by voting machine maker Dominion Voting Systems. They reveal that Murdoch expressed privately that he saw little evidence of then President Trump's false claims that the election was rigged, despite some of the rhetoric on his own network. The documents show he even said he found half of Trump's claims, quote, BS and damaging. In a statement yesterday, Fox News said in part, quote, Dominion's lawsuit has always been more about what will generate headlines than what can withstand legal and factual scrutiny. And last night, Dominion responded in part, quote, as long-settled law makes clear, the First Amendment does not shield broadcasters that knowingly or recklessly spread lies. I want to bring in Peter Baker, chief White House correspondent for the New York Times, and Carlos Curbelo, former Republican congressman from Florida. Both are MSNBC political analysts. Peter, how significant is it to see admissions from such a powerful figure like Murdoch after revelations that some of these network hosts didn't believe these claims either?
Yeah, I think this is very revealing because it talks to not just the election issue and the fight that Dominion has with Fox. It talks to the whole Trump era, and it talks to his sort of symbiotic relationship with Fox over the 4 years of his presidency and obviously in some of the time after that. And I think that what we see from these emails and what we reported, actually, Susan Glasser, my wife, and I reported in our book on the Trump presidency, The Divider, is that the Fox-Trump relationship was key to his political success and also a fascinating look at the dynamics of his support. They were afraid not of Trump so much as they were afraid of Trump's base, because Trump's base was their viewership as they saw it. And they were afraid that in this post-election period, they were losing viewers to Newsmax and other more conservative outlets that were more willing to go along with President Trump's line about the election. And so therefore, basically, they went along with things that they knew, according to these emails, were not true.
Carlos, in these court documents, Murdoch says his network was, quote, trying to straddle the line between spewing conspiracy theories on one hand, yet calling out the fact that they are actually false on the other. Talk about the importance of striking that balance in current Republican politics.
Well, Lindsay, what we're starting to see is that all of these individuals and entities that were involved in promoting this massive toxic lie are being held accountable. I mean, that's what the November midterm elections were about. That was the big story, that the candidates promoting lies and untruths were held accountable. They were defeated. And now we're seeing Fox News being held accountable in a court of law, their chairman coming out admitting some of their hosts were lying. So this is significant, Lindsay, because this is going to continue forcing the Republican Party and the Republicans who are still promoting this lie to confront this reality, to actually come clean. There are fewer places to hide every day. And I think we're just going to continue seeing more and more accountability for those who have promoted this lie over the last few years.